New revelations are shaking the British royal family. Prince Andrew, already at the center of numerous controversies, is facing new accusations that are shaking public opinion. His daughters, Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice, are said to be deeply mortified by the scale of the scandal. This captivating report goes behind the scenes of an affair that once again tarnishes the image of the monarchy and reveals the family tensions behind palace walls. Discover the never-before-seen details, the reactions, the consequences, and the hidden truths they're not telling you. Subscribe to the channel, share this report, and leave your thoughts in the comments to support this investigative work and ensure you don't miss any future revelations. Prince Andrew is the target of new revelations, a phrase that resonates like a chilling echo in the already fragile world of the British monarchy. Each time his name appears in the press, it evokes a succession of scandals, shadows, and controversies that seem to accumulate without ever fading. This time again, the spotlight falls on him with redoubled intensity, revealing a storm that is no longer limited to his own reputation but is now violently splashing his daughters, Princesses Eugenie and Beatrice, forced to bear a burden for which they are not responsible. Mortified, according to those close to them, they find themselves at the center of a media hurricane that threatens their serenity and severely tests their ties with the monarchy they cherish but which is slipping away from them. For several years, Prince Andrew's image has been eroding, eaten away by accusations whose gravity continues to fuel debate and indignation. Stripped of his official duties and excluded from public ceremonies, he has become the embodiment of royal embarrassment. What we are discovering today is the devastating impact of these revelations on his own family. For behind the closed doors of the palace, it is his daughters who must face the whispers, the insistent stares, and the merciless judgments of society. Princess Beatrice, known for her discretion, and Princess Eugenie, appreciated for her naturalness and her charitable commitment, find their names inevitably linked to that of their father. At receptions, at social gatherings, and even in their professional lives, they carry this shadow that overwhelms them and seems to weigh ever heavier. Royal experts emphasize how untenable this situation is for them. Despite their efforts to forge their own identity, independent of their father's controversies, they find themselves trapped in a narrative that unwittingly associates them with one of the most controversial figures in the crown. Some sources close to the family claim that they have expressed distress, embarrassment, and sometimes even anger at this spiral of public humiliation. The word, mortified, is not insignificant. It reflects a deep unease, a personal wound that the two princesses struggle to hide. The monarchy, a fragile institution in a rapidly changing world, cannot afford to see its younger generation swallowed up by the mistakes of their elders. This is why Prince Andrew's situation goes far beyond his individuality. It poses a symbolic and concrete threat to the future of the institution itself. As King Charles III attempts to impose a more sober, refocused, and modern image of the monarchy, the persistence of scandals linked to his brother casts a lasting shadow over his efforts. Photographs of Prince Andrew, always associated with his daughters, are a constant reminder that the royal family cannot escape its past or its dark sides. Beatrice and Eugenie's reactions are not only personal, they are also deeply political. Each of their public appearances becomes a test, a demonstration of resilience. But also an opportunity for the media to recall Andrew's name. Their discomfort is sometimes evident in their strained smiles, their calculated silences, or even their absence from certain ceremonies. These choices are never trivial. They reflect a constant struggle between filial loyalty and the preservation of a personal image that is so essential to them. Eugenie, for example, known for her outspokenness, tries to stand out through her social commitments and progressive stances, but she remains trapped in a media equation that always brings her back to her father. Beatrice, for her part, is more reserved and has long chosen withdrawal as her strategy. But this withdrawal is no longer enough to face the storm. Married and a mother, she tries to build a cocoon sheltered from scandal, but the noise of the outside world penetrates even the strongest walls. Observers note that, among those around her, concern is growing about the psychological and emotional effects of this constant exposure to public shame. Being the daughter of a prince is supposed to offer privileges and glamour, but in this case, it is a crushing burden. These revelations revive a burning question: to what extent can the monarchy protect its own? To what extent should a father's faults mark the destiny of his children? Society, however, offers no leniency. In conversations, on social media, in editorials, the princesses are spoken of with compassion but also with suspicion, as if their proximity to Andrew were enough to make them complicit in a story of which they are merely collateral victims. This cruel tale shows that the royal legacy is not only a crown and privileges, but also a condemnation to live in the eye of the media storm. More than ever, the Andrew affair illustrates the tension between private life and the public interest. Every new detail that emerges, every testimony, every document revealed, rekindles the pain of the alleged victims and increases the burden on their loved ones. But it also demonstrates that, to survive, the monarchy must learn to confront its demons without hiding its scars. King Charles, already engaged in institutional reform, is facing a formidable challenge: how to reconcile justice, truth, and the protection of family unity. His decisions, his actions, and even his silences are scrutinized, interpreted, and sometimes criticized. But beyond the man, it is the entire institution whose credibility is at stake in this affair. As the days pass, the unease grows. Revelations pile up, headlines follow one after the other, and Andrew's name remains associated with infamy. His daughters, for their part, move through a labyrinth of emotions, between shame and filial love, between the desire for emancipation and the weight of a name that is too heavy. The story unfolding today is not only about a disgraced prince, it also tells the intimate tragedy of two young women trapped in a dynasty unable to escape its ghosts. It is a story that resonates far beyond the palace walls, for it questions the very nature of power, responsibility, and legacy. And you, do you think that Princesses Beatrice and Eugenie will one day succeed in completely freeing themselves from the shadow of their father to write their own destiny within a monarchy in full transformation?